Hello my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is indeed the first time that you're on my channel, I'm Vanessa Samina and welcome to the fam. So you guys, today's reading is all about how you will meet the one. For this reading, I have prepared 5 groups for you and I would like you to go with one of these 5 groups intuitively. So regarding the 5 groups that I have prepared for you, we have the Citrine, we have the Lapis Lazuli, we have the Apophyllite, we have the Vanadinite, as well as the Moonstone. So if you feel like you need a minute just to meditate on the 5 groups in order to make the right choice for you, then feel free to pause the video right here in order to do so. And as usual, the timestamps will be down below in the description box, so feel free to open that up and fast forward to your corresponding reading. And just FYI, in case you didn't know, you guys are the most amazing freaking unicorn fam. I love you guys all so much. You guys give me the motivation to do as many videos as I can and to upload almost daily. So thank you guys all so much for the positive energy that you give me. And yeah, you guys, I just want to keep this intro very short and to the point while still telling you how awesome you are. Yeah, let's get into the readings. I'm going to be starting off with the first group, which corresponds to the Citrine. Hello, group number 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Citrine. So group number 1, I first and foremost want to speak to you about why you may have been drawn to the Citrine, apart from the fact that it is gorgeous. So the Citrine is for anybody who needs to sort of manifest their masterpiece, for anybody who needs to actually go after their dreams, okay? For anyone who needs to take action, and also for anyone who may be lacking a little bit of abundance, maybe financially. The Citrine is your positive vibe stone for all of that. But let's move further into your reading to figure out how you will meet the one. Okay, so we have the clear quartz, we have the rose quartz, we have dance, we have the full moon, we have romance, as well as abundance. Okay, so group number 1, I'm gonna get straight into your reading on how you will meet the one. So I definitely see that, you know, in dance there is celebration. So I get this feeling that you will meet the one at a festivity, you know, in a place where you celebrate. This could be something like a birthday, it could be a party, it could be just a social gathering of any kind, especially one where there is dance involved. And I can definitely see that you will meet the one, you know, when you're in a really good, free-spirited mood, you know, when you don't feel so clenched up and uptight, when you're actually just having fun and being completely yourself. That is when you are going to meet the one. And as I said, you will meet them in a space of celebration. Then in the full moon, one thing that I see is that, you know, it has everything to do with completion. So you are going to meet the one either on, you know, a full moon night, or when there is a completion in your life. So a completion could be the completion of a super important project, or it could be the completion of a cycle in your life that is now a part of the past. But either way, you know, you're going to have either this feeling of completion, or you're going to know it's a new moon and you're going to hit the dance floor and be like, hello, hi. Just kidding, but that is how I see that you will be meeting the one. And in the rose quartz, I see that there's definitely energy here right now for new romance, okay? And you do have romance in your reading. So I see a very strong love connection, especially with the fact that, you know, there is abundance in your reading. So I feel like you're somebody who is kind of like a hopeless romantic. You're somebody who loves love and somebody who sees more, how can we make this work, rather than, oh, like it's probably not gonna work because of this or that. You're somebody who strongly believes in love, who loves love, and who just cannot wait for that person that they can love. So I just want you to know that how you will meet the one is not only by, you know, being free-spirited, dancing, just basically being yourself at a festivity. How you will meet the one will be by you just feeling all your emotions. And I definitely see that how you will meet the one will have the sort of overwhelming rush of emotions that comes with it. So I definitely see, you know, a rainbow spectrum of feelings. I see that you will instantly know that you are so overwhelmed emotionally that this is the one, especially in correlation with the fact that you're just being yourself and you're being authentic. you will instantly know, like with this abundance of feeling and with the fact that, you know, you're having a good time, you're probably even meeting them with or through people that you know, people who are closest to you, friends. That is how I see that you will instantly know that this is more than just an initial attraction. This is something that, you know, is meant to be. So group number one, I definitely see that how you will meet them is by finally making things happen, as we had in the Citrine. Finally go out to those birthday bashes, finally be, you know, the first one on the dance floor, the one who's outgoing. Even if you're a bit of an introvert, try to make the effort to go out of your way a little more to meet people, and especially to go to social gatherings like birthdays, like family get-togethers, like dinners, etc. Try and put yourself in that place in order to meet the one, and I see that, you know, things will basically just start flowing, especially on a full moon. You know, you're going to be a lot more outgoing. You know, they say during the full moon that like your sort of animalistic side comes out, if you will. So in correlation with celebration, dance, having a good time, I definitely see that it's going to be one hell of a night or one hell of a day, that it's going to be unforgettable, and you're going to go into the next day knowing that you just met the one. So group number one, I hope you enjoyed your reading and I hope you found it insightful, and I will see you in my next video. Hello group number two, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Lapis Lazuli. Group number two, first and foremost, I want you to know that this is not only an amazing stone. This stone is also for anybody who needs to sort of claim their confidence, if you will, and be that person that is cool with the energy of when they walk into the room, people stop and stare. So group number two, I definitely see that, you know, you could be a little more confident with yourself, and not in a cocky way, but in a way that actually allows you to take the rightful amount of confidence, because right now you're maybe undervaluing yourself. Let's move into your reading. We have the Emerald, we have the Rhodochrosite, we have Dreamtime, the Meadow, Peaceful Resolution, as well as There's Something Better. So group number two, I'm gonna get straight into your reading about how you will meet the one. So I definitely see that how you will meet the one has everything to do with you realizing that there is something better out there. So as I already mentioned, you know, your confidence is something that you can still ascend a little bit, because I feel like you're somebody who is pretty humble, who doesn't want to be that cocky person, who wants to be, you know, confident, but in a way that sort of reflects everything that you've achieved, the person that you are, and isn't like overly confident. So I feel like while you were trying to, you know, have the right amount of confidence, and you were very conscious of not overstepping when it comes to confidence, all of a sudden now you're a little lower than you should be. So I definitely see that, you know, rising up with your confidence, knowing that there's something better, is what will allow you to meet the one first and foremost. But I also see that, you know, in the Emerald, we have ceremonies and celebrations. So important life passages like weddings, graduations, anniversaries, birthdays, those are all places where you might meet the one. I definitely see that how you will meet the one has everything to do with festivities, especially ceremonies of kind, you know. So it could be a ceremony like, for instance, a graduation. It could be a ceremony like a getting together to just celebrate life, basically. But either way, I definitely see that that is a place where chances to meet the one are extremely heightened, and you have to be vulnerable though, okay? In the Meadow, I feel like maybe you are a little bit more of a closed off person. Maybe you're a very private person, somebody who values their space and who values, you know, allowing time to pass by before you actually open up. But in the Meadow, I see that being a little bit vulnerable and letting people actually see who you truly are, that is how you will meet the one. Because the one for you is somebody who, you know, is totally okay with taking time to get to know you, but at the same time, if you don't at least give them a little bit of yourself, how are they supposed to know that, you know, there is a connection there? So you might feel a connection, but also ask yourself, am I letting this person know me well enough in order for them to even feel, you know, a mutual connection? So group number two, definitely, you know, be gentle with yourself. I feel like maybe you're not like a Meadow, but you're more closed off, just because, you know, you've been through a lot. You've been through a lot and you need time to recover. That is what I see in the Rhodochrosite. So you could have been through a lot in love, you know, nasty breakups, divorce, There are multiple things that can happen in love, you know, just disappointments that make it hard to love again and that make it hard to trust again. But I want you to know that, you know, you have to regain your confidence when it comes to that, because the one is waiting behind you in fear and overcoming all the things that you've gone through. And I want you just to know that you are able to overcome that. You don't have to let your past experiences define your future or define how you meet the one. So I definitely see a peaceful resolution. You know, there's a reason why this card showed up in your reading, alongside with the fact that you've been through a lot, as I can see in the Rado cross-eye. You have to come to a resolution. You have to come to a point where you are in total forgiveness with yourself and you're cool with any outcome. You're cool with how you're moving forward, and you know that you're moving forward in a healthy way where you've sort of, you know, let the dust settle and now you're ready for love. So in dream time, I definitely see that the one is going to be very creative. I see in dream time that your first conversation is going to be a super crazy conversation. It's going to be one where there's a lot of imagination involved, where there's a lot of crazy thoughts involved that you may not feel comfortable to share with other people, but when you meet them, you sort of feel, you know, safe. You feel like it's okay to open up and allow this vulnerable side to show. But definitely, you know, give them a chance. Don't sort of make it too hard for them to get you to the point to open up. And they will put in effort, you know, because you will get to a point where you talk about, you know, all of these funny things that you wouldn't necessarily share with another stranger. But just in order to make sure that you definitely do not miss out on the one, I would advise you to be a little bit more open-minded as well as open-hearted. Even if you've been stabbed in the heart before, know that, you know, allowing your vulnerable side to show actually shows strength, and there is a way how you can be vulnerable while still protecting yourself, just in case you meet some other people along the way with who you maybe don't want to completely open up 100%. So group number 2, that is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it insightful, and I will see you in my next video. Hello, group number 3, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Apophyllite. So group number 3, a few words on how you will meet the one and why you may have chosen the Apophyllite. So group number 3, the Apophyllite is not only a gorgeous mineral, but it's also a mineral for anybody who sort of always has a but, okay? So if you're somebody who's like, yeah, I mean, I guess I'll meet the one, but yeah, well, I guess I'll find true love, but group number 3. Seriously, the Apophyllite is here to let you know that you need to live life without buts, because they're not necessary, okay? You have to beam yourself all the way up. You need to allow yourself to know that there are no buts that need to be involved, especially in love. Let's move further into your reading to figure out how you will meet the one. So we have the Ametrine, we have the Aqua Aura, we have the Tsunami, we have the Fog, we have No Need to Worry, as well as Remain Positive. So group number 3, let's move straight into your reading on how you will meet the one. So I definitely see that meeting the one for you has everything to do with remaining positive. So as we already spoke of in the Apophyllite, you know, you may be that kind of person who's like, oh yeah, I guess it'll be okay, but. Group number 3, you have to get rid of that but, because but is basically like, it'll be positive, but something negative. You know what I mean? And I see that it is so important for you to remain positive and purely positive. Don't just say, oh yeah, well, you know, I'm being positive, but I'm being cautious. Like, there is a way to do that. I'm putting a lot of ifs and buts out there in the air. That is not a good language for you to communicate with the universe. I want you to keep in mind that the universe does not know how, you know, sentences work. The universe knows that you're saying, oh, something positive, but something negative. So basically, even though you would like for something positive to happen, you're basically evening out the playing field by then going straight into it with something negative. So that's just a really simple way for me to explain it to you. And obviously, you know, some positive things and some negative things, they have different weights, but this is just like a really simple example on what I mean. So group number 3, I want you to know that how you will meet the one is by letting the positive outweigh the negative always, always, always. So really allow yourself to do that, and don't worry about how much negatives you've put in the air so far, as I can see that, you know, you may be somebody who worries a lot, who thinks like, oh my God, maybe I have bad karma because one time in 5th grade, I told Lisa that I didn't want to be her friend. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So you may be somebody who's kind of like constantly feels like, oh my God, did I like ruin my karma? Or is there like a reason why I haven't met the one? Am I really like secretly a bad person? And obviously you're not, but we're all human and we all have doubts and we all have worries. And I definitely feel like that is something that you have to try and work on in order to meet the one. How you will meet the one has everything to do with you, you know, getting rid of any sort of second guessing. So I definitely see that balancing your masculine and feminine energy is something that will attract them. That is something that they are really into, somebody who is balanced. So know in the ametrine is a mixture between an amethyst as well as a citrine. So I want you to know that that is, you know, a beautiful mixture, and it just shows that when two things are in balance, the balance that it's supposed to be in, all of a sudden you can have this amazing, beautiful new gem. So see yourself as that amazing, beautiful, you know, mixture of a gem. You don't have to be completely amethyst. You don't have to be completely citrine. Why not be an even mixture of both so you get the best of both worlds? So I definitely see that that will allow you to meet the one. As in the aqua aura, I see that communication will be a lot easier. So group number 3, know that how you will meet the one has everything to do with a really deep conversation. So somebody that you will get in really deep conversation with. So you're going to get in very deep conversation with this person, and it could basically be anywhere, okay? And they're going to be veiled. That is something that I see in the fog. There's going to be some situation where it's not yet clear that they are the one, okay? You're not going to walk up to them and think, oh my God, this is the one. It's going to be a situation where you kind of think like, okay, this is a nice person, but you're not instinctively going to think this is the one. You knowing that this is the one is going to come with a deep conversation. So group number 3, look out for who you're having very deep conversations with, who you sort of instantly vibe with. Like, have you ever met somebody and started a conversation and been able to speak to them so easily? And I don't just mean about the weather or what you had for dinner last night. I mean actual deep conversations about what's going on in the world and the things that you're really passionate about. So that is something that I see as, you know, how you will meet the one, through conversation and through allowing yourself to actually, you know, just be very balanced, being very balanced, and, you know, not worrying about what you're saying, just communicating the way you would with a friend. So in the tsunami, I definitely see that how you will meet the one has everything to do with a wake-up call. So I definitely feel like you will go through an epiphany, you will go through a moment that is life-changing, and that is how you will meet the one. So obviously, like, these wake-up calls can be super traumatic, they can be a little less traumatic, but one thing that is the same with all the wake-up calls is that it's something that stays with you and that you're able to remember. So next time one of these moments come up in your life, know that, you know, the one may be just around the corner. You may meet them through a wake-up call, or you may meet them shortly around a wake-up call happening, a big wake-up call. And that is something that is going to allow you to, you know, be assertive when you communicate, to be somebody who can be understood but also tries to understand others. So maybe right now you're having a little bit of a difficult time when you have a strong opinion to sort of, you know, understand the other person's point of view. But I see that, you know, whatever this wake-up call is, it's going to make you a lot more accepting of other people's opinions, no matter how different they are from yours. And it's definitely going to channel the energy of attracting the one into your life. Group number 3, that is a reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you found it insightful, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 4, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Vanadinite. So group number 4, first and foremost, a few words about the stone and why you may have chosen it. So the Vanadinite is for anybody who needs a little bit more discipline, for anybody who would benefit from a motivational speech. So group number 4, I definitely feel like maybe you chose the Vanadinite because you need a little bit more motivation, as already mentioned, or just because you need something that really, you know, lifts you up, gets you out of bed, and gets you going after your dreams properly. But let's move further into your reading to figure out how you will meet the one. Okay, so group number 4, we have yes, we have the wolf, we have the opal, we have the dolomite, we have music, as well as trust. So group number 4, I'm gonna get straight into your reading. So I definitely see that how you will meet the one has everything to do with you allowing yourself to be the best version of yourself. I see that that is when you will meet the one. So the one is definitely one who likes the bolder side of you, who likes when you're being your authentic self and when you're being outgoing. So group number 4, I definitely feel like, you know, in the opal, I can see that when you show your bigger than life self to the world is when the one is going to be like, that person, that girl, that boy, that unicorn is for me. I definitely see that you meeting them has everything to do with you being in a comfortable space where you feel comfortable being your authentic self. So that could be, you know, at a friend's house, it could be at your workplace, wherever you feel comfortable. Either way, I definitely see in music that that is something that may bring you together. You know, speaking about music, having the same music taste, or maybe he or she is really into music. You know, maybe you end up seeing them play somewhere, or, you know, you just bond over music, or you're dancing together somewhere. I definitely see that that is something that is going to bring you together a lot more. So music is important for the two of you. Music is something that will be a big part of how you get to meet the one. Then in the wolf, I see that following your instinct is how you will know whether this person is the one or not, and how you will know where to meet them. So what I mean with how you will know where to meet them, I mean just following your instinct when it comes to, you know, what parties you go to, what festivities, what celebrations, what part of town you hang out in, where you go and do your grocery shop, what part of the internet you hang out on. You know what I mean? I see that just being in spaces where you feel comfortable, where, you know, your instinct tells you like, yes, this is where I'm meant to be, that is how you will meet them. So moving further into your reading, I definitely see in the dolomite as well as in trust that it's so important for you to keep, you know, your faith. It's so important for you to know that you can also bond over spirituality and over things that are not conventional. So group number 4, I see, you know, an interest in the one when it comes to things like, for instance, pick a card readings, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to the universe and the theories. So I see that, you know, the person who is meant to be for you is somebody who you can have a conversation like that with, is somebody who, you know, you will meet through not hiding away your faith, not hiding away what you believe in. And why I like say faith is just because, you know, spirituality doesn't need to be faith. It could be something that you're interested in, that you just vibe with, that you tap into every now and then. I mean, you know, there are so many viewers of mine who are actually, for instance, Christian, but they watch my readings because they find them positive and uplifting, and because we don't need to push our beliefs onto each other. We can just get each other through being positive. You know what I mean? So I definitely see that by you just saying yes a lot more and sort of balancing out, you know, your yes and no ratio, that is how I see that you will meet the one. So I see that meeting the one has everything to do with you saying yes a lot. It has everything to do with, you know, hey, wanna go out? Yes. Hey, why don't we meet for a drink? Yes. You know what I mean? Be a little more open-minded, a little more outgoing, a little more adventurous, if you will, especially if you're somebody who likes a routine and who likes what they like and what they know. Allow yourself to get out of that comfort zone, because you will be able to bond with them through, you know, music. You will be able to bond with them through expanding your comfort zone and being, you know, comfortable with being yourself in new situations. So group number 4, that is the reading that I received for you. I truly hope that you enjoyed it and found it insightful, and I will see you in my next reading. Hello, group number 5, and welcome to your reading. So group number 5, you chose the Moonstone. So first and foremost, a little something about the Moonstone. So group number 5, with you choosing the Moonstone, I get this feeling that what you have to do is set your intentions with, you know, the moon phases. I definitely see that what you have to do is do new moon wishes. You have to make new moon wishes, and you have to manifest with the energy of the moon. I see that going with that natural rhythm is something that you may still need in your life. Let's move further into your reading to figure out how you're going to meet the one. So we have the peridot, we have the sapphire, we have childhood, we have the autumnal equinox, we have listen to your intuition, as well as choose a new direction. So group number 5, let's get straight into how you will meet the one. So I definitely see that in choose a new direction, you know, what will be essential for you is to choose a new direction in order to meet the one. So with a new direction, I mean a new path. Maybe right now you're going down a path, finishing up your studies. Maybe you're going down the path of a corporate career. It doesn't really matter, but I definitely see that there will be a strong path change, and that will allow you to meet the one. So obviously this doesn't mean that you're going to quit your job. It doesn't mean that you're going to quit your studies, but it definitely means that something about it is going to change. I mean, obviously you could quit, or maybe you will reach a new stage or sort of drift off into a different branch. So I definitely see that, you know, listening to your intuition is first and foremost, you know, what you must do to meet the one. So how you will meet the one is by listening to your body, you know, working with the moon phases, like I said, you know, going with your body's natural rhythm and natural attractions is something that will allow you to meet the one. And in the autumnal equinox, I see that shedding like old karma is something that is essential. So you know how in autumn, you know, all of the trees shed their leaves, and it's just basically a time where, you know, there's change, there's preparation for winter. So I definitely want you to know that, you know, this change, this preparation is how you will meet the one. So definitely, you know, choosing a new path and being that person, you know, shedding the old leaves from summer, from the past years, old karma, and allowing for something new to be able to grow when the time is right, aka in spring. That is how you will meet the one. So allow for, you know, release of old energy, allow for release of old karma from maybe even old relationships, especially if you've been burnt or cheated on. That is something that will truly harm the now and any future relationships, especially meeting the one. As I can see that, you know, having that outlook, that innocent outlook, allowing, you know, trust to be something that you give until there's a reason not to. I see that that is a deciding factor in how you will meet the one. So aside from the fact that, you know, you have to release old karma and old energy, I also see that, you know, breaking free from reoccurring patterns that don't serve you, knowing what they were there for and being able to move forward in a new direction, that is how you will meet them. So I definitely feel like, you know, also letting go of just complacency of places that you already know. So you may not necessarily be complacent, but you may, for instance, each morning go to the same coffee shop, you know, for dinner, often go to the same place to get a takeaway or to, you know, sit down with your friends and have a drink, but try new places. I see that trying a new place will give you renewed energy, if you know what I mean, because when you go to the places you know, you have this sort of like confidence, you have this sort of like, you already know what's going to happen, and meeting the one is obviously not a part of that. If not, you wouldn't be watching this video. So already going in with that energy is sort of going to shield you from meeting the one. So put yourself in new places physically and allow, you know, new energy to be built in order to meet the one. In the sapphire, I see that you have to have a bit of a more gentle approach when it comes to meeting the one, and don't be so hard on yourself, especially, you know, physically. Because in this day and age, it's so easy to put like a magnifying glass on one little flaw, and that is definitely not going to help in meeting the one. So know that being easy and gentle on yourself, knowing that happiness is the most important thing, as well as going to places that you haven't been before and making new experiences without having a preset sort of, you know, energy that is in the room. As we have, you know, in the autumnal equinox, you have to release any of those preset energies as well as energies that are done now, okay? Those leaves, they've done a summer, shed them and grow new ones. So I definitely see that group number 5, what is essential for you to meet the one and how you will meet them, has everything to do with you switching up your routine, has everything to do with you sort of, you know, allowing also a bit of an innocent side of yourself to come through. An innocent side as if you've never been burned, you've never been hurt or cheated on or lied to. That is what will attract the one into your life, as well as, you know, just allowing yourself to learn from past mistakes as well as past patterns and moving on, creating new patterns that are more positive and better for your love life. So group number 5, that is the reading that I received for you. I hope that you enjoyed it and I hope that you found it insightful, and I will see you in my next video.